here's a tip that is going to speed up Photoshop for you. It's going to save on file space. It's going to save on a lot of things. And if you're wondering why you care, it's only like a minute and a half tip. Trust me, this is something worth looking into. So here's the idea. If I duplicate a layer, I'm essentially doubling the size of this document. Photoshop's got to keep track of this information. So one layer equals X, two of them equals X times 2. I mean, that's pretty much the way it works. Well, something that we do a lot is we'll change this layer to like multiply. I'll add a mask to it and we'll take a brush tool and we'll come in here and just kind of brush in the things we want to keep bright. We want to make the dark ground or the background black. So I'll reduce the opacity a little bit here, but that's before, that's after. So just a real quick technique. You know, we use a duplicate layer and a screen mode a lot of times to whiten teeth or eyes, just anything where you would duplicate a layer, change the blend mode. Well, here's the thing. If I save this file, and I have it, I'm going to show you the comparison in a second. It's different than if I delete this layer and I go to my adjustments panel and let's say I add a curves layer. I'll change the blend mode to multiply. I come over here to my mask, paint on it just like before. Same exact thing happening, reduce the opacity. All right, same exact thing. If I save this document, let me show you the difference because there's a big difference. Here's the adjustment layer version of it. 13.4 megabytes, but the duplicate layer version of it is 21.6 megabytes. What I did in the document is exactly the same. Okay, it works exactly the same. It doesn't look any different, except one is almost half the size of the other. So what does this mean for you overall? With 2 layers, it's not that big of a deal. It's when you've got these monstrous raw files that we're working with, that are 4,000 or 5,000 pixels wide, and you start adding layers and you start duplicating layers, and you got 10, 15, 20 layers in these documents. Things start to bog down. It takes your system longer to process these files. When you run a filter, when you brush, when you resize, all those things take more time with a bigger document. So that's why to consider, if you can use this little trick, it's going to save time. As far as processing time, it's also going to save space on your hard drive.